So, been a few days since my last video. And yeah, I thought about continuing off what I talked before. There's just a few things I think that are interesting. So, in order to feel good, well, life seems pretty simple. I think if we are negatively poled, if we have a negative focus, then it just ends up negative. If we focus positively, it ends up in positive, right? So to shift from negative catastrophe thinking towards a more positive outlook, which is difficult, especially if you already in that momentum. But it's also realizing what's the point of negative thinking, right? Or what's the value behind it? If you know that negative thinking leads to negative outcomes, then do you really want to continue that route? That's a good question to ask, right? Do you want to continue on the road of catastrophe thinking towards a negative outcome, and then that's also kind of what happens then? So more and more what I see for myself is that reality bends according to our imagination. So what we imagine is what reality bends towards. It's not force. It's not doing and forcing something and trying to make something work. If the underlying feeling and thought of whatever someone is touching is oh, that's not gonna work anyway. Yeah. It's if we cancel out a dream, cancel out what we think of, the moment we have a little bit of an imagination towards something better, then it's not gonna happen because we canceled it out. So instead of thinking of it cannot happen, how can it happen? Right? Shifting that. And yeah, but it's a practice. It's something that needs to be done every day. Catching a negative thought, shifting it, sitting with whatever comes up, whatever feeling or thought comes up, just observing it. Yeah, but the more I shift things too, the more I use my imagination, the more I also see how reality responds. Using no imagination at all can have life be stuck, there is nothing moving. So that's what I would notice. So when I did not use my imagination for anything really, then it would just there would be no movement. Life would not respond in any way. But the moment I started using my imagination again, suddenly things started moving. So consciously using my imagination for something positive, something that felt good. And it's not that any of those things that we think of need to happen right away. There can be another trap, right? Where we say oh, only once I have that thing that I think of, I'm gonna be happy now. Like, that's not good. Who knows how long it's gonna take? Can take a year, can take months. So it's not really that important what in the end it is, or if we actually get to it. If it feeds you with some positive feeling, then that can be enough, you know? Because in the end, you only want that thing because it makes you feel good. Because you think like how it's gonna make you feel. It's gonna make you feel great. You're gonna be happy. You're gonna feel happy. But the thing is, like, you can feel that already without having it, you know? So you can feed yourself with positive emotions without actually needing that thing that you think of. So, and I think that's way more important than forcing something, than just acting. Because a lot of people are gonna tell you, like, you're just gonna need to act, you're just gonna need to do. And like, no. If you're not positively poled, nothing's gonna move you, propel you forward in a positive way. So that's why I think it's oftentimes more important to just sit with whatever comes up, with whatever negative feeling or thought. Maybe reframe the thought positively, or see if there's a positive counter argument to be made, than just like forcing and grinding. Yeah. So I think that sums it up. Or like, another thing is that also can happen very easily is like a victim mentality, right? Do not, well, cannot tell you what to do, right? Like, I'm not even your guru. Everything I say is just things that I experienced myself. But in the end, like, I'm not even your guru. I'm not your guru. You already have all the answers. I'm just saying things that you probably already know. But yeah, speaking from my own experience, just stop pointing to things to you don't like, or that I wouldn't like, made a big difference, you know? Because there are so many things that we can point to, and by pointing to things that we don't like, can easily become like almost like a victim thing. Or we say like, oh, we have it so bad when, do we? It can easily become complaining. And complaining is some form of victimhood, you know. Complaining is a form of victimhood. And from what I see, it's not even that important. Positive thinking is not even difficult in the sense of like that you need to do something. What you're doing happens automatically, you know? When you think positively, like, you just do things. They don't feel like work. What you touch is not work. So resistance is another one. What do we resist? What do we say that we don't want? where do we push that thing where we say like, I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't want this. That's a form of resistance, right? But does it really need to change for you to be happy? Or can you be happy regardless? And I think that's where mastery comes in. I think that's when mastery happens. When you see things that might not be exactly how you would like them to be, if you even thought in that direction in the first place. But irregardless, you can feel good. You know? Because we can easily also just focus all the time on things that make us afraid, where we project a negative outcome, where we think of like the next bad thing that can happen, and yeah, it's just like having an automatic, or using our imagination almost automatically for some negative outcome instead of a positive one, you know? Because we might as well use it for something positive, especially if it leads to better emotions, better feelings, better outcomes. So yeah, I guess just some things I noticed. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.